Welcome everyone to part 2 of our Ferris wheel build. And yesterday, or in part 1, we made our wheel for our Ferris wheel, and today we're going to make the frame. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to, actually I'm going to put it off to this side over here. I have a little more space. Now what we need to make are 2 of these, 2 A-frames basically. Okay, and they're not very hard. Of course, we need more of our paper paper tubes. So you'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8. So if you don't have them made, you're going to need to stop the video and make a handful before you carry on. So what we'll do is now we take 2 full-size ones, and we need to make them, they don't really have to be the same length, but I think what we'll do is we'll maybe cut this one a little bit down. It's got just a little piece on it. Try to make them the same length. I'm going to push this one ahead. And now this piece, I just made it 15 centimeters long. Okay, and that's the same length as I made in this one. So what I'm going to try to do is maybe line them up so that they're kind of close to the same size or same space. And then if I'm going to just tape the top. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to hold them together, and I want to create a little V in there, a little gap. So I want to go like this to make sure that they just kind of touch each other. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape across like this, and I'm just going to go like that, just so it holds them together for now. And then I'll put this roughly where it looks like the other one is the same. So I'm not really choosing where to, or making a scientific calculation here where to put this. I just put it where it kind of looked about right, and that looks about right. Okay, it's not going to matter because really what it's meant to do is hold the A frame together. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting a piece of tape on perpendicular to this piece, so when it wraps around, it'll wrap around evenly. Okay, so I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to go like this. Now I'm going to pick it up. I'm just going to tuck the tape behind, and now I'm going to roll it over, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put some tape on this side too. So I'm going to put a piece on the top, hold it together, roll it around, and I'm going to put a piece here, and I'm going to put another piece here. There. I'm going to go like this, fold it around, and there we go. So this is very similar to what we do when we prototype things in our makerspace, as most of you know. Now, there we go. Now the next part is a little tricky. And what I'll do is I will show you with this piece, because I'm sorry, I'm just looking around because I thought I had another one, but I don't think I do. Okay, I'm going to just pause for a second, and I'm going to cut a piece off that I thought I had, but it has since disappeared. That's okay. I'm going to go like this because we need that later. Okay, now I'm going to cut this off because I want to show you what we need to do. Now you need a piece of newspaper, sorry. And for some reason I have run out of long pieces, so excuse me, I need to roll over here and get another one. There we go. Okay, last time I did that my camera stopped. Okay, I'm going to push this aside. Now this is the piece that we have as our shaft for our Ferris wheel, okay, for our wheel portion. We need something for this to slide on. And a lot of times in our makerspace, we would use a skewer and a straw. Okay, but we're trying to reuse as many pieces as we can. And I like how thick this is, which is really nice. Now we need something to go over top of it. So what we need to do is roll some paper. I'm going to roll it the other way so it stays flat. There we go. I'm going to roll some paper, and I don't want it tight. I want it really loose. It's got to be really, really loose. Okay, and now this is pretty loose, and now I'm going to try to roll it like this, because I want this to be able to slide in and out. Okay, that seems pretty good. Is it going out? Yes, it does. Okay, it's pretty clear inside. Because we want this to be able to turn, right? And there's a lot of tricks in here, and part of the problem is when you use newspaper, is when on the inside, and you can't quite see it, there's another edge of the newspaper, the other edge that we started with. And then you have also edges on these rolls of paper. Okay? And they don't necessarily like each other, because I can get it in, and if I roll the paper the same way, then it goes okay. But if I roll it this way, sometimes it'll get stuck on that edge of paper. Okay, so what we need to do then is tape this down. Okay, tape that edge down so it doesn't get caught on the insides of this. Okay, and then so you need to tape this then, right? Put some tape on it. Okay, and we're only going to need 2 little pieces of this so that this will slide in and it'll turn, because we need our wheel to turn. So these are basically our collars. These pieces of paper. I'm going to push this to the side. That's why I cut this one out already. And I actually cut another one out on this one. And even though this is not the piece that is fitting through, it should fit. It does fit okay, which is good. And hopefully it will work. And this is the problem you're going to get sometimes. See, when you pull on it, how the paper comes out, because it's twisted on the inside. So you just have to push it back in again. All right, so that's the problem, a little bit of the problem with that. Now we need to put it on top. Okay, and this one, I think maybe I should cut a little more off, but if I cut a little more off, I have to put some more tape on. So I think, no, I don't. I'm going to cut it right there. And there we go. And that works. And you can actually twist it opposite to make the paper a little flatter. Right, twist it back around. Now, we need to put this on top of this. And all we do is put a piece of tape around it. And then we just put it on top. And for this one, you don't want to push it down too hard. You want to keep the shape of this roll so that our paper tube will fit in it. That's too small. And then we can do it again like this, another piece. And it doesn't have to be very tight, just as long as it isn't going to move. Okay, now we need a piece of cardboard or box board, and you need one that is the right size. And I don't know yet where these are going to sit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape one side. And I'm only just going to do this for now. And this on this side for now. Because I'm not 100% sure until we actually put the wheel in. All right, and now put the wheel in. Slide it in that way. And we slide this one in this way. And I'm kind of looking at this, and I think I need to make this one go wider that way. I need this to go right to the edge. Yep, I think that's what I need to do. That's why I'm just tacking it down and not fully putting it on with lots and lots of tape. Yeah, it's kind of stable. It's not too bad. All right, you'll find that it is a little wobbly, so you have to be careful. I'm going to try to use the same piece of tape if I can and move this one over. Like that. And this one I'm going to move over as well. So I probably could have cut a piece a little bit bigger, but I had this piece already, so that's why I kind of kept it. Now, we are, I think I'm going to need another piece. Now we're going to need to put, we have to put a little bit of support here, even if it's just a little piece going. Now this, I'm not sure. Maybe what we'll do is I'll leave it like this. Yours will do the same thing. It will stay. I'm a little turned. I'm kind of crooked. See how I'm kind of twisted a little? But that's okay. It's I don't think I'm going to charge too much to get on the ride, so I think it's okay if it's a little crooked. Now what we want to do is the fun part. Is we want to try to make a little chair for this, right? Now you have to remember though that the chair has to fit inside, because when you turn this way, it has to go inside. So I'm going to just make a tiny one. I think I'm just going to make. I'll move this aside a little bit, like this, and if I do like this, it'll fit. Yes, it will. Okay, and if I just fold it, that's it. That's good so far. And now, I think I want to put a couple of just little sides on it, because we don't want whoever to fall out. And there. Now I'm just going to tape this piece on to here. So you're making just not a box, but just a kind of a half box. And don't worry too much if how it looks, because really what you're doing is you're making a prototype chair here. Okay, you're looking at making whatever fits your Ferris wheel. And so all I'm doing is just I'm just piecing together a kind of a chair type box thing. So there we go. I like that. That looks pretty good. Now, this is interesting, this part. And what we're going to do is I'm going to move this over this way. You can see a bit of that. And since we want to use newspaper actually is a very, very interesting tool. It's slippery, easy to cut, and easy to tape. So I want to cut a strip just about this wide. Okay, or a little narrower is fine. And I want to go like this. I don't know how much I need yet. And you can use grocery store flyers or store flyers for this as well. Doesn't matter. And the idea is that we're going to hang the chair with this piece of newspaper. All right, we're going to make a loop so that it will slide around. Okay. And I'm going to use a piece of tape not that big. So what I want to do first, I think, is I'm going to tape this piece to the inside. Like this. And this is all prototyping. I've really only tried this once before, so I'm just kind of basically flying by the seat of my pants. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to hang it like this. It might hang a little bit too much this way. I'm not sure how to fix that. You know, we'd have to work on it. But you have to put it on and then tape it. Okay, you have to put it on like this, and then you have to tape it. which is a bit of a trick. And so I'm going to put a piece of tape on here, and then I'm going to go around like this, and I'm going to put it all the way to the bottom. There. Yeah, so our person is going to fall out of the chair. So if you look and you watch, it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's going around. All right, we're going a little close to that. It seems to be working okay. Although I think I want it to go this way. You're going to find if you go one way, it works better because one way will tighten the newspaper inside our collars here, and one way won't. All right, and I'm discovering now that oh, there it goes. It's working itself around. So our chair, somehow we need to figure out how do we make it so it sits straighter, right? Like this. That's the big challenge. I'm not sure if it's more tape on the back part. We can try a piece, see what happens. Go like this. That's a little better. Slide it over. There we go. That works pretty good. And now what you have to do is somehow, now that you have one of your chairs on, you have to put a cross brace from here maybe to the other side, but this has to clear, right? So if I go like this and I cut a piece, let's put one on, just a simple one. Put another piece of tape on there. And if I go like this, and then we'll put a cross piece on here. We'll raise it up so we know how much clearance we have. All right, looks like we can go ahead up just a little bit more, which is good because the higher we go, the bigger the angle, the more structural support. And then we want to straighten it and then put this piece on like that. Okay, and then it's a little stiffer, which is good. And it clears there. Well, that works pretty good. Yep. So I think that will work. So get some newspaper, some box board. That was this cardboard's from Cookie Box. Okay, and it should work fairly well. But you'll need to put another cross piece on the back here as well. You have to measure where your clearance is, and then put a piece in. Okay, to do that, and then that should stiffen it or straighten it out a little more. We don't have. If you had a wider piece of cardboard, you could come from here, okay, and go wide like that. That would actually work pretty well. Okay, so there you have it. There is your Ferris wheel. Now you're going to have a little more work to do because you have to put your chairs all around, and maybe add some more support to it. But and maybe you want to make a nice fancy handle that you can turn. Okay. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy using your Ferris wheel. Okay, we will see you again.